She's the mom.
We did not make it. She was, it's okay.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
moment to honor those in the military, country, to our public and community. No public comment. Approves minutes from May 4th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from May 4th.
Have a motion, we need a second.
I'll second that.
Have a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Financials from the 18th, the 19th through the 1st.
I'll make a motion. Does anybody have a question?
No, I was about to ask something.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable for May 5th to May 18th and May 19th to June 1st.
Nicole moves on both pay periods. Have a motion on the table, need a second.
I'll second.
Sherry seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Financial accounts, or sorry, Loyd Group.
Christina Henson, and tonight for you, I have your audit for you. Start with that staple document, so as in the past, there's several pages of boilerplate language. And starting on the bottom of page 4 and on into page 5 of our prior point, all three of them revolve around the reconciliation process. And this last year, we reviewed the bank reconciliation, and that part was taken care of. It's all nice and timely and tied out. And then the last piece that we still have left is the utility reconciliation. And we worked together this last time around the audit, kind of talked about it. Different scenarios of where to find the numbers, etc. So I expect that will be taken care of during the next year. And then after that, we didn't have any other financial recommendations. So overall, I think it was a check. Then, any questions on that?
Yeah, on page 2, it says you identified significant risks.
So what that is significant risks are identified at the beginning of every audit.
Okay.
And so that doesn't necessarily mean that anything is incorrect or wrong regarding those risks, but it is kind of where we start our process and what we look at. So the standards, auditing standards automatically say that improper revenue recognition and management override controls are automatic significant risks for everybody. So we did not identify anything else other than the risks that are required to be looked at at the beginning of the audit, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah, it does. For being new and uninitiated, yes. That was concerning.
Yes, absolutely. Your audit came in just before we decided to take the template and rewrite it accordingly, so that hopefully next year it will be a better explanation of the paragraphs, because you're not alone in that question.
Okay.
Any other questions? Right. So financial statements, starting on our page 1 of our letterhead, we have our audit opinion. So that third paragraph there is your opinion as it relates to the regulatory financial statements that we have presented here, which once again is unmodified or a clean opinion, so it's a good thing. Starting on page 4, this is your statement 1. So this is your high-level overview of all of your funds and the cash balances. You will see they significantly increased, but keep in mind that that was from the pool settlement funds primarily. So the general fund really jumped for 900,000+ because of those settlement funds that were received in the year. You will want to watch if they, I assume, will be spent probably in your 26, maybe 27 year. Just pay attention. You may or may not need to amend the budget if you hadn't already put that into your 26 budget to spend out of the general fund. So again, that'll just be something to watch.
We do plan on amending the budget, so following the amended budget.
Okay.
Do we have to amend that if it's a bond payment?
So you have to amend for the bond payment, not if it is spent in the same year that it happens, but if it crosses years, then there's potentially, yes. It can only be treated as what we call a budget credit, or basically increase your budget authority in the same year that you make the receipts. Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, note closures. Highlights for this would be page 7 is your long-term debt, and note 4, so you can see your outstanding debt that you currently have and the number of years in dollar amounts for payments. Page 10 in note 8 also has your transfers, so see which fund the money came from and where it went to and the dollar amount. I think in most cases, if not all, these were all budgeted, so they were all planned transfers. Page 11, we have your schedule 1. So this is your budget to actual. So that last column, they're all negative numbers, which shows compliance with budgetary loss, so no issues there. And then the rest of the book is all of the different fund presentations. Give you a minute to look through it if you'd like, but I don't plan to go through them all unless you have questions.
I think a lot of us had time to look at this. Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at it several times. I didn't see if it was concerning or not much, but
Okay, well, if there are no other questions, I appreciate your time, and if that changes, please let us know. We will get started with that budget form spine that came out this last week, so gearing up to get through that, and I'm sure that they will get with you to schedule a time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I ask one quick question?
Sorry.
How long do you usually, how long would you say it takes somebody to get really comfortable with a budget? Not just like reading it, but really
To actually do the preparation and all that stuff. And for us, at least in our auditing firm, we usually tell our staff better plan for at least 3 years before you start getting comfortable with it, because there's so much that goes into all of that. It's like you get taught something and then you work with it and then you get taught again and it's like, oh, I remember that. That makes more sense now. And then by the third time you've heard something, all the light bulbs are usually clicking on at that point.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Perfect. All right, thank you.
We need a motion to accept the Loyd Group's audit.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
A motion by Nicole, second.
Second.
That was second by Sierra. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Request hearing for the code. I believe that's Charlie and
Charlie's not listening.
Okay, tonight we have Mr. Nicholas White with us. He lives in the house at 201 East Main. And I had put a door hanger on his door about mowing the grass. He wanted a hearing, not necessarily about that, but about what he would like to do with his yard. He kind of wants to have a somewhat natural yard using natural grass and using some natural flower plants and things. Nick, would you I'll let him go ahead and explain it to you.
Sure. So it's just a pollinator for the yard, for grasses and flowers and things. Being in the tall grass prairie, though, most of our native grasses are in excess of 3 feet. So there will be some of that in the yard. Some of our flowers and vegetables that are native to Kansas are in excess of the 12 inches or so of the city ordinance. So a lot of the yard, the idea is to turn the entire lawn into a pollinator-friendly ecosystem with a mix of vegetables and flowers and grasses all working together in a symbiotic relationship. So that's the goal. I have a picture if you guys would like to see. This is a very rough idea of maybe in 3 to 5 years. If you want to pass that around. 3 to 5 years what it could look like. But in the meantime, it's going to take time to let things go up to seed and then thaw to seed and build from there. So the idea is, to make a pollinator haven.
That being a corner lot, you'd have to keep everything down in front of the house on the Main Street side as well as on the Sedgwick side. So he was just kind of wanting to get an idea from you of what use the council would allow it.
So you have a fenced-in backyard, correct?
Correct.
I believe you have a sidewalk that runs from your garage up to your back door, and maybe one on the side.
Correct.
So 90% of your backyard's grass, correct?
Correct.
I would think it would look better with you being one for safety concern, with you being on a corner lot, to keep your overgrowth of what you want to plant in your backyard. And the rest of the street view and the easement be mowed and maintained according to our ordinance.
Okay.
I know at one time you had a mower sitting out and it looked like you attempted to mow.
Yeah.
I don't know what the issue was with that. And then all of a sudden, I know Charlie issued a citation and now it's 10 years, so. My recommendation would be have it in your backyard, and make the front of the house presentable. It's a safety concern.
Good. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thoughts from the council?
My concern is that anybody who has a fence in their backyard that won't mow their yard and they're just a habitat for snakes and rats and all the things that we're trying to keep out, be like, well, that's-
1% can, then why can't I?
yeah.
Yeah.
So then we become, it's a bigger issue with the people who aren't trying to do something in a very responsible manner, using that to say, I don't want to cut down my naturally occurring weeds.
It's gonna attract rodents and
Yes.
not that,
Right.
but
and-
you're
and-
talking
yeah,
about.
but because we've already
So.
know that happens with a few backyards in town. So that would be my concern, is the impact it's going to have on the neighbors by the rest of everything it's going to attract.
What you're saying is maintain it like what our ordinance says.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm in
I would,
agreement.
I mean, unless there's like strict landscaping around like a tree or the front porch or, you know, that's like what a flower bed would be or something like that.
Right, and I noticed you have
It's
raised beds in the
acceptable,
back
but-
that you're growing stuff in, and so I don't have a problem with it being in a contained area, but when it's
Right.
just the whole
The whole
thing.
yard, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna run into issues. I agree. Like, oh,
Consistency around the table, then enforce it like our ordinance says.
Yeah.
All right,
I say yes.
that's a
Yes.
Charlie, that we'd have to maintain it according to our ordinance. Thank you. Consider approval of policy procedure for the swimming pool. We are up and operational.
Was there any significant changes?
Yeah, so with the pool parties, we wanted to just do a flat rate fee for no matter if it's, because they're gonna have the same amount of lifeguards. Whether it's 1 to 25 or 50 to, 26 to 50 or up. One of it was to just maintain a simple one flat rate hourly fee to grow parties for. And then, other one was instead of $125 for a season pool pass for 5 individuals, they get $150. And then drop the individual pass from $60 goes down to $50. Because $60 for a person would just get an individual pass of $60. Quite a few times to have to make the money on that. So, I mean, we had, I'm sure you all saw social media, we had people who were asking other people if they wanted to go in on a pool pass together. So, that wasn't the intent of the 5 individuals on, when we created 5 individuals on the pass. It was to help those parents who are in 2 different households and but nannies or babysitters, that they want to have put on the passes. Now it's just kind of become a, hey, let's get together and put all of our kids on there, and at $125, it's not a lot. So at least at 150 is $25 a person to justify it that way. So that's pretty much the significant changes, is just the prices that we wanted to change, and those are all on page 4 of the policy.
Questions besides that from the table?
If that's the concern, can we next year put it as your 5 people in family?
Per
and then-
household.
Per household.
Well, like she said,
But that's why the reason why we did it how we did was because, like, 2 parents live in the same house, and they have 1 kid, and they have other kids in this household and other kids in this household. Does it make sense? I mean, who's gonna pay for that 1 child? Or even even 4th children going back and forth. And it's just.
well, they're still part of a household either way.
Yeah.
We were trying to include, parents to come together to pay for all the kids together, 2 households. So they were very strict that it had to be under the same. So I guess it would be how you define house.
I thought we were discussing it. It was like per family. Like that's how we did it. Was like the 2 parents that don't live together, but it was still one family.
And well, we also wanted to include the babysitter.
That's right. Okay,
So-
this is all coming back to me now.
Because I know, like, Salt City has it where it's the household
Audra.
address, that kind of thing, because I've looked into it. So I'm wondering if there's a way we can kind of write it for next year.
Yeah,
If there's, mom lives here, dad lives here, and they split the kids, then, kind of, well, case by case on that situation. But, yeah.
So for right now, we weren't trying to change the design of the house, we were just changing the price.
I think that's, I mean.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, these things goes. The 4-party form needs to be updated, or just the one, that's right.
Yes, that will need to be done.
Do we need a motion to accept that change? Okay. I make a motion to accept the pool's policies and procedures with the updated to the pool form to reflect the single rate.
Have a motion on the table.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution for the sale of Wildcat Landing, which I signed for last Tuesday.
So, I told them,
Yeah.
obviously the sale was happening and you guys had already approved it, so you can ratify that, but you guys had already approved the sale, so that kind of
We're out.
is still. But the bank required, or the closing will be required.
Okay.
So I make a motion to accept resolution number 455.
I'll second that.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Amend Wildcat Landing covenants.
I gotta be honest, I got a little bit of a double vision reading through the changes. What's significant to this new covenant?
The setbacks.
So we did it so that, my understanding was that, some, one of the abilities to have setbacks in the code currently does not allow that. And that's okay. So we just changed the covenant that said, if they are given special, if they are giving permission to do the, setback, then they can do the 20. So it still keeps, the code is the same, nothing's changed, and each individual property owner then has to petition the city to get special permission, but as it was written, the covenants wasn't followed. So we went ahead and changed the covenant while the city was still done. Or that's what we're.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
And then petitions, we just basically, whatever the city code. We just went, I mean, we were asked that if the city code allows it, we put it that the covenant was restricted.
Well, we gotta have to.
It is a topic for all cities that I.
The original one didn't allow it.
Right.
So.
Oh, okay.
The covenant, it didn't allow the covenant. And then I think I just did a little bit of cleaning up, giving the city a little bit more authority or buying back. I mean, just some tweaks
So
that,
what was the setback? or original. It was 30.
This is a recommendation from the E EDC.
It's 30 from the front, 30 from the back is what having a private permit does. And, looking at the size of the lot, putting my house on there, it is substantial. It is very difficult.
Difficult to do it at 30, yeah.
And so we just went ahead and amended here so that they could then petition. So it doesn't mean that they have the authority to say people have to go by lot and decide, so that's the zoning process to get a variance. But at least the covenants will restrict them. So.
Steve, do you have any concerns on anything that you've looked at with this company?
Any
I move to
questions?
approve the amended Wildcat Landing Protective Covenant as presented and authorized.
Have a motion by Nicole, need a second. Steer, seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I hear.
And just a heads up, because of the timing of this, they did, the city has sold one of the lots, so that new owner will have to also accept it, but my understanding is they're, yeah, so,
Yeah, they're pretty.
yeah. But just so you know, like, that'll be an extra step, but then,
And this amended covenants will have to be filed with. Be that. Yeah.
Cha-ching.
NPR, invoice and property liability, an update.
So I gave you guys copies of the, invoice versus the insurance companies go through, every year.
Were there any significant increases this year?
No, not huge, we're doing about the average of, but what we had thought we were gonna do. So, there's nothing that really stood out that was like, oh, pick a shot, so.
Need a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the NPR invoices for property and liability.
Have a motion.
Second.
Have a second by Shelley, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay,
As far as updates, I'm continuing to work on the budget. The Park and EDC and rest will have their or no, because EDC got moved to the week after. So they won't be able to present it until July. But Parks and Rec, Parks and Rec should be able to present what they are like. I'm gonna sit down with them and the department heads to make sure that the budget is how they want it. They need and looking forward. And make sure, last year with Carmichael and I going through it together line by line, I think it was helpful for both of us to understand the process of what he needs and what, he would like and what we can do. So yeah, that's where I'm working right now. I'm trying to focus a lot on the budget.
Do you have someone you set up with the other department?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And the new guy.
Brady.
Brady.
I'm meeting with him next week. Or
Okay.
he gets back from.
You?
any other questions for Josephine?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Public Works, Mr. Carmichael.
I had Adam approve. It was on our agenda for the last meeting for the reach solutions. That's our firewall to the water treatment plant. And it's cybersecurity stuff on it. the contract off, doing it, the 28th, I think. So that's why I'm trying to get it approved. So I'll approve that expenditure. We want to get the new equipment. Cybersecurity on water treatment plants right now is coming in very, very good. Other than that, we've been trying to keep up with the mowing when rain allows us to. Hopefully at the next meeting, I'm gonna bring some quotes for you guys. So I've got MKC, electrical project I'm wanting to upgrade. I don't know how familiar you are, but with the front of the grain elevators, there's a platform with 3 transformers on it. It's already leaning pretty good. And then further back in between the elevators, there's a cabinet that's got 3 of those same transformers that are up on a pole inside of the cabinet. And I'll be real honest, it scatters everybody. It's just to work on it, it's a nightmare. And so what I'm putting together is putting a pad mount transformer out front where the one up is on the pole that will power both elevators. And it'll all be underground and a whole lot more appealing and by far. But I'm still putting numbers together. I'll have to read the next one. My rough guesstimate right now is about a $60,000 project. Rough. Which is actually not too bad.
We do have money budget.
Yes, we do. We have electrical upgrade money that we can spend.
And if you look on Google Maps of the area he's talking about, you can actually see how much is clean in the last few years. So if you guys are actually want to see the dramatic change.
And after this weekend's storm, I'm going to come up with a SOP for power outages. It's not going to be policy. It's just going to be to let people, inform people to know that when we have an outage, there's going to be a priority list that we check off. And the first priority is getting the most people up the fastest. And then progressing from there towards its individual transformers that are without power. They'll be later on the list. We got to get the masses up, power restored, kind of like we did 2 years ago during the storm. But with the outage we had this weekend, we had one side of the streets that had power, the other side of the street doesn't have power. People don't understand how our grid works. They don't. All they see is the neighbors across the streets got lights and I don't. And there was some people upset over that. And you have to try to explain to them why. And I just felt after dealing with it today, thinking about it more, I thought we need to come up with an SOP, just kind of like we do with the snow removal. We have a snow removal plan. This is kind of a power outage plan. So people kind of understand there is method to the madness when it's happening. Other than that, the pool is up and running. Not running into any major problems.
And not coming.
The guys were out like 45 minutes. We're done, and I appreciate that. I saw you working, I heard you working. I spent a lot of time with people explaining it. I had to explain how it works, so I appreciate that.
It actually went very, very smooth. We had 2 different major places that had damage. Our phones was blowing up, so I called Josephine, and she and I communicated all evening long through the whole process. It was pretty awesome. I transferred the calls over to Josephine so she could take the hits on the phone while we were working, because there's nothing worse than when you're only 2 guys trying to do the work, your phone is constantly blowing up.
I'll stop texting you. I apologize.
No, that's fine. And a lot of it's good because then I know who's out and I can call them back and say, okay, you do have power, verify it with people. It worked, everything worked pretty smooth as far as that go. Mount Hope came over, they brought their bucket truck over up the south. They weren't there a long time because then Mount Hope got hit by the second storm and they started having issues over there, so they had to go back over there. But they was able to at least get a lot of work done that I didn't have to do. So it was pretty good. It was a fun evening.
Anything else, sir?
All I know.
Thank you.
Mr. Hayden?
Looks like we got job descriptions for all positions.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about those?
Stuff and Phillips have gone through them and weeded out a bunch of the stuff that were duplicates and cleaned them up quite a bit. So Kendra has looked them over. The only thing that she had mentioned was
I had done some research for some other stuff, and so my only concern is the, for the sergeant and the deputies, those are, that they're not. And so I did flag that I'll just have to do some more research on that, and kind of talk in just what their duties actually are, but that's a federal determination, you know, it's not something that. That's the only thing, but the description.
I like the descriptions too when I looked through them today. I didn't know if there would be benefit at all in having percentages of duties similar to what they do with state employment. 60% of my time's in the field, 40% of my time's.
that'd be hard. That'd be awful hard to make.
Because they can't predict how many
Yeah.
they're gonna have
Or how long they're gonna be on a call,
Yeah.
or,
Right.
yeah, I don't think that's not a good measuring stick to put on. So I don't think.
That's it.
I know,
Much as I'd like to have.
You know what I'm talking about
I
though.
don't think highway patrol has it.
Right.
I think prison has a percentage. My department has
Yeah.
percentages. Yeah. Highway patrol does not.
I did. Other than that, I like them.
I have a few questions, like on the sergeant description where it says duties of this position may be modified at the discretion of the chief or council. I feel like it should explicitly say that the job description can be formally approved by the city council, but daily assignments are done at the direction of the chief. Does that make sense? Also, I noticed in the chief's job description, it didn't have anything really about budget and all of the budget management and all of that, it doesn't read like a department head job description to me. Maybe it was something else I read.
I know, I read.
And then I still have a question about whether the police chief should be the court clerk.
And I think I've talked to that, and I have flagged that is not ideal, and I don't believe that, it's in the best interest of the city, that you want that separate, because he's doing all the investigation, and, we're probably most likely be a witness, and so the court clerk should be independent with the judiciary.
As of right now, I believe we're working,
And I flagged it, right, yeah, I have flagged
I
it,
believe Kendra and Matt have talked about it.
so, yeah.
So should we hold off on these job descriptions or until that's done, or should we just eliminate it at this point?
In the, yeah, I would not put it in, yeah, take it out, but not.
So you would not take it out if you had something.
No, I would say out of the job description. So the job description, is not necessarily a like, it's more for you, yeah, it doesn't have, you guys don't have to have work, and I think that's a
Where's the
a
guideline?
good, yeah, I got it. And
Okay.
so I would not have, I'm trying to find where the asset says is it in there that the court clerk?
It just says oversees municipal court proceedings. I think.
It's on the very first page of the chief of police, under essential duties.
Which I mean, he, in a roundabout way,
Does
he
oversee
does oversee it, so.
It's not the same as being the court clerk,
Yeah.
so he kind of makes sure that it's on the docket, that, I mean, that. And so I feel like that is fine, that wording, makes sense to me, like he is the one, and that's one of the reasons why. And so it's kind of a gray area, because a lot of the chief of police I work with, they're the ones who put everything together, and they're the ones who actually like do the work and give it to the court, but in the actual proceeding for the defendant, if you want your people who come in and who are being in front of the judge, they feel like it's a fair and impartial.
Okay.
That's
Well,
the
you're
thing.
not seeing a concern, then.
I'm not thinking how it's worded, I'm not saying like overseeing municipal court proceedings. That's the paperwork. The judge is the one who really is over the court, so
Okay.
I think as worded. But as actual action, I strongly like that is something that would be best to do it. I have.
What, and who would you recommend?
It could be anybody I've, for like either clerk or the clerk would be an option, or, sometimes the judge has somebody, like I've seen that, like their assistant in their 9 to 5, sometimes
Right.
the city just pays that person to come and actually be the clerk, and that works well.
Well, I definitely don't want to hold that up on what we've done, but it needs to be.
It's just finding our person, and then I think he's right. And
As a matter of fact, I have somebody that has already asked me if we have a court clerk position available, but it, of course, I told them it's gonna be a very part-time basis, very, very part-time.
So under reports, calculates and produces quarterly reports for municipal court and presents to the city clerk for payment. Is that still under his job duty, or would that be under the clerk's job duty?
Well, I think for the city, it should be under his, but the big thing is the actual, like, working with the judge at the actual trial. The clerk, and then it usually is the chief of police who coordinates. So if it's like, okay, we're getting it paid, it doesn't necessarily mean he's the one that has to take the funds to do it. Usually the corporate stuff, but they usually work with him.
And it's done on a monthly basis anyway, so it's
It's
not.
not done with.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever is done with the court is set up, and, whatever is done in the proceedings at court, it's put into the software.
So I understand that that's my fault with everybody else, that when somebody comes in and they have to be same for the judge, then they're like, no, you need to pay. They come in, they can either pay.
Yeah.
They pay.
Our
Yeah.
police department does not take.
Correct, that's what I was trying to make sure that I understood. And then you make sure that all that's reconciled and kind of on the back, which is that's not more.
Yeah, we take the payment, but we hand the paperwork over in the shop, we then put it into the chain document.
Right. So it's just more of the court clerk needs to appear, and it is, neutral when there's somebody that's actually like in front of the judge with the court. You don't want to come in and the guy who gave you the tickets also sitting next to the judge, help, hey, and then do this. So that aspect is what needs to be divided, not the back behind administration.
Any other questions, Nicole?
My only last thing that I highlighted here was on the officer's position, where it says no felony or serious misdemeanor charges. Should it read convictions or something in accordance with something else? Or his charges can be obviously
Well,
dismissed.
CPOS doesn't like to see charges. So,
So should it read like in accordance with C-Post or something? Like if that's the standard that we're following?
well, if somebody's got a felony charge or a serious,
Like a
We'll
Rico,
be looking a different direction for them anyway. I
like,
mean, just-
like a Rico thing or like a Rico or what was the term when someone's been, accused of wrongdoing?
Brady Giglio.
Giglio, that's not Rico. That's,
They did it or something.
oops.
But I think that comes down to one, due diligence of our police chief looking into it.
Right.
But when they read a job description and see that, they might withdraw. I mean, it just catches them before they actually start the process of filling it out.
You know where that's at? You could say something, about.
On the officer one, towards the back, education and experience.
Yeah, it's on the very last page, or no, second to last page. Down towards the bottom. Yeah,
Oh, and then right under that.
yeah, that the Giglio issues. Yeah, there you go.
I thought I read it all the way through.
And you can always put a disclaimer like after the discussion of the hiring.
Right, I just didn't know if we should cover our PYA in that regard, is all I'm trying to.
Kind of almost, I mean, granted, you're innocent until you're guilty, but, charges are, you know, I mean, that almost kind of goes along with it, you know, kind of more with their- for the most part. I don't know. You guys, however you guys.
Are the same
Should be.
experiences in all, you know what I mean? Is it the same across the board, or does like,
Like it feels.
or does like the sergeant in somewhere in that job description refer to meet all the standards of the officer? Same with chief. Do we need to have anything like that in there, or? You know what I'm saying? Build on
It's a
it.
minimum.
Those standards. Yeah.
So,
Or do we just need to make sure?
I
it's
don't
in
think it
both?
would be a bad idea.
I don't think it does.
I didn't see it. Other than that, I'm fine with it.
I mean, I think that, you know, in addition to the standard recruitment in the officer, sergeant also, that
Can we add those changes and come back and
or you got, or, I mean,
or accept them as they are and then
With the amendment,
with amended, I make a motion to accept the job descriptions of all the police department positions with the mentioned amendments.
we have a motion on the table.
What amendments are you adding?
Change the convention stuff to like Steve post,
And then just making sure that they each,
like
Build upon each other, yes.
the sergeant meets all,
Officer required.
yeah.
the police chief meets all.
and then
So we have a motion on the table, need a second.
Second.
Have a second, all in favor, say aye.
I
Motion carries. Lights for police truck.
Okay, so the new patrol truck that we got, I've been asking for it since we got it because there is no lights on the side of it except for up on top of the light. If we have to block roadway during daytime, it's very not visible. So, anyway, for safety's sake, I'd like to add some additional lightings. We've got a quote from Superior, which is the one that did the upfitting on the truck. It was $1,081 change. And then Walker Flash is up in Bueller. Anyway, I would like to go with the, the quote of the 1241.50, which will put the same type of lights on the mirrors as what we have on the other two. And then it will add a couple extra lights down underneath the running board.
So your recommendation is the 1241.50 from the flash. Anybody have any questions?
I'm assuming you have this in your budget? It's my question to everything.
Motion.
Make a motion to approve the flash quote for lights on the chief's truck for $1,240.50.
Also moved.
Second.
0 seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Updates, sir.
We have currently NPR, our Midwest Public Risk, which is our insurance company. They have dropped off, they call it Milo machine, which is similar to firearms training simulator that we used down at the academy. Basically, we do some firearms training, kind of some situations. Open it up for you guys as council members to come down and try your hand at de-escalating situations and or using a firearm or a taser and trying to figure that out. So seeing how quickly things escalate. So if you guys would like to try that, you guys are more than welcome to get with me or Phillips, and we can run you through a scenario or two.
I want to play with the taser because I know it would hurt somebody.
I would hurt somebody, yeah, no.
Just use that one. There are training handles. They're not pistols, and they're not tasers, but they do have the like and feel of it. So I've also contacted Reach because Reach Solutions is our computers. The one that is Shapers, and then the one that was at my desk are still running the Windows 10, and those have to be upgraded to Windows 11. So anyway, they're supposed to be coming out to do assessments on that to see what we can get done. So that's coming up. It may end up being buying computers, or it may be just doing some reprogramming. We don't know yet. So the other thing that I'm looking at, our Axon contract with their body cameras and tasers is getting ready to come up here within a year. We have it set in the capital outlay. Capital improvement plan. Okay, I want to make sure I said it right. But anyway, we've got it coming up in a year. The only thing that I have a problem with is we have 3 body cameras. And those body cameras are assigned to the officer. So for our part-timers right now, they're bouncing around with Shaper's old body camera. So, because it automatically tags Shaper on those calls. So, which I don't like, but we've got, so anyway, I want to have another body camera. So we'll be getting a quote for that, and that'll be coming to you next month, or next meeting.
But since you ask the question every time,
I do.
not,
Thank you.
it is in the capital improvement plan for 2027 for it to be redone. If you guys did want to move forward with that, there could be some funds that we take from this tornado siren replacement to help with that. Tornado siren replacement plan to be done in 2029. So that is, yeah. Right now for 2027 figures, our cameras, 5 cameras. We have $60,000 that would be available next year, 2027.
Thank you. What else?
I think that's everything.
Any other questions for Matt? Or none, I need to move into executive session. Thank you, sir.
I move that the governing body recess into executive session for 5 minutes to discuss the hiring of non-elected personnel position for the police department. The meeting to include the city attorney, city clerk, and chief of police. The open meeting will resume at 7:55.
Second.
Have a second, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Could we leave?
No.
Back from executive session, no binding action taken. Is there anything that needs to be addressed?
I'd like to make a move to hire Tyler Spear as full-time police officer in the city of Haven.
Pay him out.
44,000.
Have a motion on the table.
Second.
Have a second by Sierra. All in favor say yay.
Yay.
Thanks,
Welcome.
sir. Appreciate it. Start date.
You'll have to give a couple of weeks' notice, so,
Okay.
and then, whatever, I guess, kind of get it out there a little bit, wherever you need to get with your former chief. Or existing chief. Second.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. I probably did before.
All right. Executive session.
I move the governing body recess into executive session for 30 minutes pursuant to the non-elected personnel exception to discuss the city clerk's employee evaluation and/or performance plan with the council, mayor, and city attorney present in the opening meeting to resume at 8:20. 8:30.
Have a motion on the table, need a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
See, that's why I'm wearing this shirt. Not yet.
Back from executive session, no binding action taken. I need to go into executive session number 3. Need a motion. Can we combine 3 and 4?
Pick different people.
Yeah, there's different people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I move the governing body recess into executive session for 10 minutes for consultation with the city attorney for which would be deemed privileged and the attorney-client relationship for legal advice regarding personnel matters with the council, mayor, and city attorney present. The open meeting to resume at 8:41.
Have a motion. Need a second. All in favor say aye. Motion carries. You're seconded.
Your turn.
Back from executive session,
I'll do it.
no binding action taken.
You got it.
Anything on the table?
I'll make a motion to move, executive session number 4 to June 15th meeting.
Have a motion from Nicole. Need a second.
I'll second.
Have a second by Sherry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Council concerns, Ms. Nicole.
I just wanted to point out the fact that I think we need to really take a hard look or have attorney take a hard look at our handbook and policy and procedure manual and just do a real good cleaning up of it, making sure things correlate, just reading through it more in depth over the last few weeks. There's a lot of inconsistencies or things that would benefit us as a whole operationally if we cleaned it up. So that's a concern.
Michelle. Sherry,
I'm good.
this year.
My only thing is, I kind of wanted to see about making a recommendation or what the council thought is the department heads meeting every Friday, all three of them together, no matter if the mayor can make it or not.
Just have one today, Thursday.
Yeah, we're meeting at the beginning of.
I mean, whatever, meeting once a week.
Weekly, yeah.
Yeah,
We,
Yeah.
that is part.
That's mandatory for all department heads.
I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on that.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it's an excellent idea.
Do we need to have
I
a
would
motion?
say what fits their schedule.
Right.
If-
Right, I didn't mean day, sorry. They need to meet every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And so you guys are directing them.
What you would like to direct, or would you like them to see, make sure they can try? And,
I
or
think,
do you want to mandate it that you meet weekly?
I think they should meet
Mandatory.
mandatory.
Yeah, I think
Whatever
they
day
should
and
be
time
weekly.
works for everybody, but that
We
you
need a
guys
motion.
do it.
Yeah. Motion.
Yes, please.
That's a motion. Need a second.
I'll second.
A second by
Nicole?
Nicole. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Motion carries. Ms. Sherry.
you already said no. so-
Yeah, that's
Corey.
I think most of my concerns were resolved today. I can still read what I need to into record, but I think we basically have covered everything that I would say on June 15th.
Sure.
So I can read it into record or not. It just, I'll go ahead and then I just want to read it in the record and then we don't need to have discussion. Okay. Thank you.
There's nothing else, then agenda for the
15th.
fall sign up quote.
Baseball sign.
Baseball sign, Field Diamond.
Council members, Mr. Brock has something other than
That's it. Everything will need to be read as once it becomes a record.
and then we'll have an executive session for employee evaluation. So, if nothing else, we'll get motion made for that.
Make a motion to adjourn.
That's why it's first station.
Second.
Terry, second, call me, say aye.
Aye.